Your name, your address, and your phone number are floating around the internet. Easy for strangers, scammers, and companies you've never heard of to find. Data brokers and shady databases collect and sell your private details to anyone willing to pay, putting you at risk of nonstop spam, scams, and fraud. You can't stop them from collecting data, but you can control who gets to keep it. That's why I use Incogni. They remove your private information from more than 420 of these sites automatically. And with their unlimited plan, you get total coverage. If you spot your personal details anywhere else online, just send them the link, and their privacy experts will get it taken down. It's the easiest, most complete way to protect yourself and personal life. Right now, you can lock in 60% off with my exclusive deal at privacykim.com. Go to privacykim.com right now and start protecting your privacy. This is so important. Privacykim.com. That's privacykim.com. But wait, there's more. Here's hour 4 of the Kim Komando Show. This is such a great story. I don't know if you heard about it, but a 2-year-old in Oklahoma dialed 911 for an emergency donut delivery. That's right. Here, take a listen.
Hello? Donuts. I want donuts.
Donuts.
Can you tell me what kind of donuts you have? Do you have blueberry donuts? An emergency?
So he had a 911 emergency donut. Okay. But here's the deal. The dispatcher totally went along with it. The officers showed up with Dunkin' Donut treats. Isn't that amazing? Now, here's the reminder that most old cell phones, even if there's no plan, they can actually call 911. It's a federal law. Which reminds me, I found a store that only sells bagels and donuts. It's called Whole Foods. Oh, that one hurt even me. Hey, listen, you're about ready to get more tech ahead because after all, if you're not, you're going to be tech left behind in the digital dust. And that's my job. I'm Kim Komando, of course, America's beloved digital goddess. And you just tapped into the biggest show, the best show, the most trusted show about all things digital. And you can find my award-winning show on over 420 top stations across the United States. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Komando. And you can also get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast. Yes, wherever you get your podcasts, just search for Komando with a K, of course. And then, wait, there's more. YouTube.com/Kim Komando. That's where you can actually watch the video cast of the Kim Komando Show. And a big hello and salute goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio. Love to have you guys and gals with us. And the Komando hotline is open at 1-888-825-5254. That's the best way for you to join in on the fun. But if you are just too shy to come on a big show, I get that. Head over to the website, komando.com, and hit that link at the top that says Ask Kim. Now, great sponsors help to make this show possible, and I always negotiate money-saving deals for you with them. So if you're ever listening, you're like, hey, what's that promo code that I need? What's that special web address? Head to one spot, komando.com/sponsors. Every single day, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, a national holiday or whatever, I go to at least 40 different sites to make sure I know exactly what's happening in the tech world. And here are 5 things that you need to know about right now. And we're going to start with Netflix. You know, people cancel their Netflix subscriptions all the time. And get this, Netflix, they don't care. Why? Because they know that you will be back. You know, over at Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, Hulu, Max, Google, I mean, all the rest of them, they do care. Most times when they lose a subscriber, they actually stay gone. But over at Netflix, when you cancel, I thought this was insanely interesting. Research shows that 50% of the time, you're going to be back within 6 months, maybe even less. Give it a whole year, and 2/3 are back again. Isn't that something? You see, for every streamer, there's something called churn rate, and that's when the number of subscribers who are quitting. And here again, for Netflix, the huge subscriber base that they have, the churn rate is only 2%. So if you can't find anything on Netflix, you're like, oh, I'm going to get them, I'm going to cancel. They don't care. They just know that you'll be back. Moving on to number 2, there's been a long-running problem with Google product reviews. I mean, you can't really trust them. Too many times a product reviewer has accepted money or maybe even something else. But Google has made a big change, and it's not just hurting the dishonest reviewers that are out there. You see, Google product reviews are now posted right next to the product in a Google search. What this means is you don't have to go to another website to actually read it. So for some very big companies like the Forbes Advisor, let's say CNN's underscored, Forbes vetted, it's the end of these businesses because they relied on Google in order to get the traffic, in order to get people to buy things, in order to get advertisers. You see where it goes. So here's the bottom line. I've said this for so many years. If you don't innovate, you will evaporate. You have to constantly be thinking ahead in your business. Moving on to number 3, speaking of a business, this business isn't for everyone, but so often here on The Big Show, people will say, hey, Kim, what can I do to make some money? I got laid off. AI is taking over my job. Well, I want you to imagine all the items that Amazon sells each and every day. Now, think about all the thousands of returns that Amazon gets back each and every day. The customer didn't like it. It arrived too late. It was the wrong color, wrong size, wrong for them, whatever it is. And Amazon will gladly take the products back. But they don't resell them except to special customers who signed up to buy returned merchandise. So you can select clothing, auto parts, accessories, consumer electronics, whatever, and then you can resell them for a profit on websites like Direct Liquidation, Blue Lots, Bstock, Blue Fox. Let me tell you, I read a story where a woman's making about $15,000 a month selling Amazon returns. Something for you to think about. Moving on to number 4, look at your iPhone. Hasn't really changed much last couple of years, right? Every time I get a new iPhone, I'm like, did I just waste $1,000? Yeah, you did. Since the iPhone hasn't really changed much, say 18 years ago, it's gotten bigger, thinner, smaller, faster, lighter, better microphones, more cameras, but the basic design, that rectangular screen with colorful icons, looks the same, really, since 2007. So after all the false starts by LG and the embarrassing failures by Samsung, Apple says that they are finally ready to introduce a folding phone where you open it, you will see a huge 12-inch screen. Could you imagine? So look for the folding iPhone maybe later this year. And by the way, if you see the Apple Vision Pros on clearance, there's a reason for that. It's dead. Do not buy it. And finally, this coming in at number 5. When's the last time you went to Disneyland or Disney World? Yes, it's a small world after all. But Disney's new AI is going to be closely watching your moods. What? Did you say moods, Kim Commando? Yes, I did. You see, for decades and decades, Disney has used focus groups to figure out customer satisfaction with the various rides, the food, the merchandise, and overall enjoyment. But now Disney is quietly installing elaborate AI surveillance cameras to see if you're smiling in Disneyland or Disney World, if you're not happy, if you're just disgusted. I mean, it's supposed to be, right, the happiest place on earth. So you might be wondering, oh, is this an invasion of my privacy? What are they doing with all this data? No, you're standing in the middle of the world's most famous amusement park, so it's not. So never go to Disneyland. Here's a little PSA. Never, ever go to Disneyland with anyone you wouldn't admit under oath who was with you. Speaking of, bad joke coming time. You ready? Did you hear that Disney Plus is making a crossover between Star Wars and Back to the Future, where the time machine is half car and half person? Did you hear about this? It's called the Mandalorian. Oh, yes, that hurt even me. All right, coming up, let me tell you, this show's so jam-packed. We're going to talk about how you can add your pet to a free nationwide alert network, how your cheap clothes may be causing you cancer. Yikes. And they were closing on their dream home until scammers stepped in. You don't want to miss that. And, of course, we have just the best callers ever. And you have me, Kim Commando. Hey, imagine getting $500 for yourself or $500 for someone who truly needs it. That's the whole idea behind our Pay It Forward challenge. It's ending soon, so make sure that you enter to win right now. Winfromkim.com, winfromkim.com. So I got a DM from one of our readers of the current newsletter. That's my newsletter. And she said, Kim, her name was Deborah Lawson, by the way. She said, you shouldn't be saying that you have a 2% negative rating. That sounds bad. You should say that you have a 98% positive rating. Well, thank you, Deborah. You're right. That's right. The current newsletter has a 98% positive rating. Now, if you don't already get my newsletter, I want you to go to winfromkim.com. All right, let's get started already with Perry in Denver, Colorado. Hi, Perry.
Hi there, Kim. How are you today?
I am fantastic, sir. What's going on?
You're always fantastic. I've been listening to you forever.
Well, it's my glass is always half full. It is. It drives, you know what? It drives people around me crazy. My son actually said to me not too long ago, he's like, how come you're always happy every single day? I mean, how come? And I'm like, why not? I'm alive. God is great. And I'm here. I'm doing what I love.
Yeah.
You know, what more?
You've got a good life. That's for sure. And you share it. That's what's very interesting.
So what's going on?
I have to tell you this, though, Kim. I've observed something about you.
Uh-oh. You
are living proof that nerd humor is wordplay.
That's true. That is. It is. Well, of course, you get the newsletter, so you know that because I'm able to integrate that.
I worked at Microsoft for 8 years, Dell for 2 years. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science, and I worked at IT college for a couple of years. So I've been around it for a while. Yeah,
it's changing like crazy right now. So how can I help you, Perry?
Well, you gave us a tip the other day I thought was pretty interesting with wrapping the car key fob in tinfoil.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are picking up the signals, and they do have all these gadgets that can read that kind of stuff. And I used to do electronics and radar when I was in the Navy, so I understand all about the various frequencies and stuff. So I'm just curious, does the same issue apply to the garage door opener clickers?
Well, you know what? That's a really good question. Just for everybody who unfortunately do not get my free newsletter, as I was talking about how thieves are now buying these inexpensive scanners on eBay and other places where they can duplicate your key fob signal from inside your house and effectively just open your car and drive away. And so if you live in a highly dense area and you think that might be a possibility, is that you can do a couple of things. You can wrap your key fob in aluminum foil. You can also just take a box and wrap that in aluminum foil and then put your keys on the inside. Some people actually are putting their keys in the refrigerator. Okay. I don't recommend you putting them in the microwave because you never know what might happen there. But when we start talking about garage doors, you know, modern garage doors, they have some built-in technology called rolling codes. You know about rolling codes. And that changes the code each and every time that the remote control is used. So that's why it may sound practical to wrap your garage door opener in aluminum foil. But if you have a pretty recent, you know, probably within the last 10, 12 years, garage door, then this rolling code technology is already built into it. And what that means is that you don't really have to worry about somebody duplicating that RF signal and then opening that garage door and coming into the house and, you know, stealing stuff, whatever it may be. But if you do have a key fob, like I said, you live in like an apartment complex where there's a whole bunch of folks and there's a really close distance between where you drop your keys and where your car is, just go ahead and just line a box. And what I have in our home is one of those, I guess it's kind of like a safe. It looks like an old book. And then I just lined the inside of that with tinfoil and then just drop the keys in there so that this way nobody can duplicate that signal and then drive away with a car. Perry, thank you for your call today. All righty then. Tori in El Paso, Texas. Hi. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, Kim. Thanks so much for taking my call. I'm a long-time listener, but a first-time caller.
Yay, I'll be nice.
So I'd like to know the best way to back up photos and videos from an iPhone 12 Max Pro to an external drive or your recommended method excluding iCloud.
Why don't you want to use the cloud?
I'm just not crazy about the cloud. I find it difficult to retrieve stuff.
Really? Gosh, it's so...
I do.
Oh. What kind of laptop do you have? Do you have a laptop too or no?
I do. I have, actually, I have a PC. I have two, and I have an iMac.
Wow.
Or a Mac, or ProBook.
That's okay. Because I'm just, okay, well, I'm going to tell you how to do it, but I'm just thinking that maybe you might want to look at Apple support or some YouTube videos to kind of figure out where you're not having that connection. Sometimes it's hard to find if you don't have iCloud set up properly across all your devices. That's when it's like, oh, well, this photo's on my phone, this photo's on that laptop, this one's on the PC, whatever it may be. And you're like, I just want one place. Please help me, right?
Right. So right now I have over 25 to 27 videos and photos on my phone. So it's going to crash. One of two things are going to happen. So
yeah, that's true.
I just would like to. I just like to back it up to an external drive if there's any way possible.
All right. So let's just talk about. I can't give you the exact steps, but I will go ahead and put a link inside of one of our newsletters, and we'll go ahead and email you this link for everybody to you, so that you have it directly. But everybody else will put it inside of one of our free newsletters. Basically, it's really simple. Is that you're going to use a USB-C SSD, and then you're going to connect your iPhone to the storage device using the Lightning or the USB-C connector. You're going to connect the device directly to your iPhone, and then open the Photos app, video, whatever, and then select, like you said, the videos or whatever that you want to export. Then you're going to hit that share button. You know what I'm talking about, the little box with the arrow pointing up. And then export unmodified. That's the big key there. Remember, unmodified. And then you go into your storage locations, and then it just goes like magic. It goes all the way
Wonderful.
there.
That sounds easy.
It's really not that difficult. But you know how I went like, shh, it's all done? Okay. That's the part that's going to take more than shh. Okay. We're talking about minutes and minutes and minutes, depending upon, the resolution and length of the videos and good things like that. So here's what I'm going to do, Tori. I'm going to put you on hold. And Emery, why don't you go ahead and give her that the link to support.apple.com. And then it says guide, iPhone, all that other stuff on the other side. And then we'll be sure to put this inside of our free newsletters that you get every single day over at GetKim. Just sign up at getkim.com. All right, let's talk about your phone. I want you to do a 5-minute phone privacy check. Yes, say that a lot. So number one is I want you to see what apps can access your location, your camera, your mic, and you can check and change that in your app's permission settings. Next, I want you to make sure that your phone's really locked up. Whether you use a PIN, a fingerprint, facial ID, just make sure that it's turned on. And also set your phone to lock automatically when you're not using it. And you also want to stop unwanted file transfers. This is when your phone lets you share things like photos easily with others. But here's the thing. Strangers and scammers can try to send you stuff too. So head into your sharing settings and limit who can send you files. That's it. It's quick and painless, all done under 5 minutes. And now you can say, my phone is privacy secure. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about how cheap clothes could be causing cancer. And then later on, just a sad story, a couple was closing on their dream home and then they got scammed out of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yikes. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise, home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Imagine that you're out for a walk with your dog, Abby or Bella. He or she gets startled, slips out of the collar, and then runs off. Now, of course, you're a good pet mom or dad, so you have your pet microchipped. Of course you do. But for extra peace of mind, there's something called the Free Fido Alert Network. It's kind of like an Amber Alert for pets. Here's how it works. You head to FidoAlert.com, register your pet, and then your furry friend gets a unique ID number, and then you get a free ID tag with their name, the FidoAlert.com website, and also a QR code. So, in the unlikely event that your pet goes missing, you can send a text or an email to alert everyone on the Fido Alert network within a mile of where they were last seen. So if someone finds your pet, they scan the QR code on the ID tag to get your contact information, and then you're notified automatically. That's FidoAlert.com. All right, let's see who's up next. Regina in Las Vegas. Welcome.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm terrific. What's happening?
Well, I'm just calling you because I need a little bit of your advice.
Okay.
I have a piece that I've been kind of in a forced compliance mode at work.
Oh.
And it's an app that they're asking me to download on my phone, my personal and private phone,
Okay.
that records and collects and archives every single text message, conversation, etc. I have with anybody within my organization, and also my private communication with, anybody in my call lists. And I'm not happy.
I don't blame you. I would not want my employer to see all my personal text messages and my contacts and what I do and probably where I go. That seems pretty creepy and wrong to me.
Yes. So that's why it's called telemessage, and I did some, deep diving rabbit hole research, as you would say, and I wanted to know what your take on this was.
What kind of business is this? Is it a healthcare? Because telemessage is really out there for enterprises in certain industries that want to keep track of, as you mentioned, messages, phone calls with clients, that sort of thing.
It's a FINRA-regulated company, so it's compliance by FINRA.
I see. Okay. All right. They may need to put something like this on your phone in order to be in compliance. You know, how that whole money train goes downhill, right?
Correct. This is my concern.
And so what kind of phone do you have?
I have an Android.
Okay. A couple of ways that you can fix this. Number one, you can get a new job, right? Okay. That would be, I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, maybe you don't want to do that. You can get a separate device, which is always a pain in the neck because who wants to carry around two phones, right? I mean, that's not any good. What you can do on an Android, though, is you could set up a work profile. And I'm not sure if telemessage would work in a restricted environment like that. But when you set, it's kind of like you set up like, this is on your one phone, you'll have like, this is my personal phone and this is my work phone. And almost like a virtual machine type of thing. And so whenever you get a notification on that work profile, that you fire up that work profile, and then you can, and when you're working during the day, you're doing text messages or calling or emailing or whatever you're doing, is that everything's being tracked in that app. And then when it comes time for you to, let's just face it, buy stuff on Amazon, okay? Talk to the kids, your significant other, whatever it may be. Play Wordle, is that you're going to use that on your personal profile. So I'm sure you have an IT person. Have you asked the IT people about this?
They're not. They're just telling me, download this and do what you're told. And it's not very friendly. And I haven't reached out to them because I'm not getting the friendly, warm and fuzzies. So I just thought I'd reach out to you, being the expert in this field, somebody outside my organization that would be able to really give me this, lowdown. Yeah,
really, your options, Regina, are get a separate phone. And it doesn't have to be an expensive phone, right?
Okay.
Or you set up a work profile.
That was the line I was thinking as well. Like I said, I just feel it's an invasion of my privacy. And, I have friends that are at work, and they're telling me now I have to communicate with them on this app if I'm not at work. And I think that's just overstepping and overreaching, quite personally. And
but there's some policy, something that is making them go down this road.
I understand. I understand.
I mean, I'd be like, this doesn't feel right to me. And what it is, Regina, I mean, we don't have any privacy anymore as it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, this is true.
I mean, it's just everything's being tracked. And now it's like, well, there's always that separation of church and state. And this is where I think that we have to draw that line. And so, do you want me to send you the steps to set up a work profile?
That would be awesome, because I think I'm just going to have to take one of the two steps that you mentioned and just go with it.
It reminds me of the store loyalty cards. When you go to the supermarket, and unless you give them a phone number or some information, you're going to pay more. And then when you check out, that the clerk looks at you and says, "Oh, you saved $72.12. And I always sit there, I'm like, well, that's because you jacked up the price, So this way I would give you my phone number. But, there have been those cases where there is a car accident and they pull up whatever the person purchased over the last 3 months and they say, you know what, maybe the car accident was because, you're an alcoholic. Look at everything that you've purchased, so.
No, yeah.
So I'm going to put you on hold, and Amber, if you will, send Regina the steps where it says setting up a work profile, so that this way we can at least point you in a direction. If you need any help afterwards, Regina, I'm always here for you. And again, thanks for your call. I just love taking your phone calls. All right, so if you think you're getting great deals on buying Chinese junk online, you could maybe be putting your health at risk. I'm sure you've seen ads for Shein. It's the Chinese company. They say it's the world's largest online fashion retailer. I don't know about fashion, but what did it do to gain such a title, even over Amazon? Well, it sells clothes for unbelievable prices. I'm talking about $2 shirts, a $20 wedding dress. Now, there's a reason why the clothes are so cheap. I know, shocker, they're made with toxic chemicals. So authorities in South Korea inspected 93 Shein products and found that half, contain toxic chemicals that can mess with your hormones and potentially cause cancer. One pair of shoes had over 400 times the legal limit of these chemicals. So what you can do is check your clothes, drop a bead of water in the fabric. If it stays beaded up, rolls around, leaves no residue, you have a problem. Do not wear it, return it, or just trash it. Let's see. Rudy in Augusta, Georgia. Hi, Rudy.
Hi, Kim. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Well, I've listened to you for years, and you definitely have helped me out quite a lot.
Well, awesome. That's happy to know. I like to hear that. Thank you.
So, about 4 or 5 years ago, I ran across a program that was audio for, it was long before AI, but that had emotions that I could put onto a video, but it was extremely expensive.
Okay.
So I opted not to do it because it was like $4,000 to $6,000 for that. But I've been looking ever since, and I still haven't found anything.
When you said, did you say video or audio? I thought I heard you say video. Emotions into video or audio?
Well, I do both.
Okay.
But I wanted to record the audio to put onto a video.
Oh, basically. Okay. All right. And so are you looking for a voice to do the narration, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Boy, I'll tell you, this is tough. I'll tell you, I've paid thousands of dollars already. Thousands. Just wait. I should have gone on the corner and just gave it away to the homeless people. Okay. Because, and not just that, but I also, spent my time trying to train AI for voices. And see, and using your voice versus somebody else's voice, I think I think it's better if it's not your voice versus somebody else's voice. Because I'll tell you, I canceled the contract because they charge you a monthly fee to do that. Because I thought, hey, think about this, Rudy. Wouldn't it be great if I could be sitting my butt in Maui and do a podcast or do a show? Whoa, yes. No, doesn't work. I tried one of our 60-second features. You'll get a kick out of this. One of our 60-second features, Digital Life Hack. And I was like, oh, this sounds so good. Nobody's going to know it's not a Kim Komando. It's the AI version of Kim Komando. So put it out there. And the gal who's in charge of WTOP in Washington, D.C. sends me a note and says, is this AI? Because I ain't playing it. I'm like, oh, ouch, ouch. So anyway, I'm done out of the AI Kim Komando business, just to let you know. I tried it once. But Amazon has something called Polly. They don't really talk about it very much. I have a friend of mine who is using it for audio narration for audiobooks. And we were talking about this. I was saying, like, I can't replicate my voice. And then he was explaining to me that replicating an existing voice versus an AI-generated voice to give it the tone, the inflection, and the emotions is a lot tougher than just starting with a computerized voice in the beginning. You know, when you start thinking about it, that makes sense. Okay?
Absolutely.
So Amazon Polly it's priced per million characters. I know, it sounds kind of strange, right? And if you think about it, it's anywhere between $4 and $16 per million characters. So
that's reasonable.
So it offers different voices. Depending upon what type of voice you want, you're going to spend a little bit more per million characters. Google has similar pay-as-you-go model. It's called Google Cloud Text-to-Speech. And then there's also Speechify. Now, I haven't looked at Speechify. I haven't looked at Google Cloud, but I have heard, like I said, my friend's audiobook that used Amazon Polly, and it didn't sound like you and me, but if you didn't know, it's pretty darn close.
Does it show emotion? Does it express emotion?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yes. You're going to pay a little bit more for that per million characters. But if you're looking for somebody to say, Rudy, you are the rudest person I've ever talked to on the air in my entire life. Or, Rudy, you're the man of my dreams. I love you. You can use that as your ringtone, by the way.
I wish I was recording.
There you go. So you got different options there. But, I would start with, I said, Amazon Polly. Again, you don't hear a lot about it, but from what I heard, it sounds pretty darn good. And let's see, Keith in Tampa, Florida. This looks like a great question. Hi, Keith.
Well, hi, Kim. I'm a big fan of the show, and I appreciate everything you've shared through the years.
Oh, I appreciate you, too. Thank you, Keith. Yeah. What's going on?
So I am in the process of building a new home. I'm somewhat in the early stages, but construction in my part of the country is concrete, block, and steel. Now, I live in a home that's a similar construction right now, and I sometimes have problems with wireless to my wireless cameras. So in my new home, I was thinking I would build an Ethernet setup with access points using either Cat 5, 6, 7, or 8. And so I had the opportunity to do all that. So I'm looking for some advice. I think my maximum run line is going to be 50 to 75 feet.
Oh, that's not bad. That's actually pretty reasonable. Right. How many square feet's the house? How many square feet do you have? 2,400
inside, but I do plan on having some outdoor devices, including a television.
Okay. All right. Well, I can tell you from me building a house, and we're wondering the same thing, and wire is cheap. I would run hardwire to get the fastest network speeds. Just put them all like 30 to 40 feet apart so that this way you can blanket the areas where you actually need the coverage. Right. Just to put that in perspective, I have over 5 miles of Cat 6 cable in my new house. 5 miles. So wherever I could put, I know it's crazy, but wherever I could put a dedicated line, a dedicated drop key, I can't stress that enough, that's where you want to be able to do it, because you're not going to be able to do it after the fact. Concrete steel, right? Right. So just look at the floor plan and consider if I could have a dedicated drop to my TV, to my laptop, to my desktop, to a repeater. And I want you to look at something called the Eero Mesh Pro. That's EERO Mesh Pro. I use those as well. An Eero Mesh Pro. And so that this way you can get those signals way out. If you have any questions about pulling this all together, just give me a call back, because I spent a lot of time doing this, Keith, and thank you for your call. More of the show's coming right up. All right, how about a bad Wi-Fi joke? All right, a man needs Wi-Fi at a local bar, and then he asks for the Wi-Fi password, and the bartender says, you need to buy a drink first. And the guy says, all right, fine, just give me a Diet Coke. Cost him $5. And then he says, okay, so what's the Wi-Fi password? And the bartender says, you need to buy a drink first, all lowercase and no spaces. I know. That one was actually pretty good. All right, still to come, a scam I need to warn you about here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, a couple of things I want to pass along. Number one, if you're not already getting my newsletter called The Current, 650,000 people do every single morning. It's a 5-minute read specifically designed to make sure that you're always tech ahead, and you're going to love it. I mean, a 98% review. Everybody loves it. 98% of the folks who get it. Sign up over at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. All right, so this guy Cullen Brown is in Chicago and just days away from buying his first house. And the email comes in with the wiring instructions for his down payment. It looks all legit, name, address, the exact amount. He sends the money, it's gone. It's called a business email compromise. You see, scammers hack emails, pretend to be a title company, and then trick you into sending the money. And it's only getting worse. Last year, people lost over $3 billion to this type of fraud. Now, this guy was lucky. A fraud recovery service called Certify ID helped him get most of his money back. But always call the title company to confirm all those wiring instructions. And also another reminder, you can get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast. So wherever you get your podcast, take me with you. Just search for Komando. That's with a K, of course. Hey, imagine getting $500 for yourself or $500 for someone who truly needs it. That's the whole idea behind our Pay It Forward challenge. It's ending soon, so make sure that you enter to win right now. Winfromkim.com, winfromkim.com. And that's the end of hour 4. But I'm sure in your podcast player, there are some shows that you haven't listened to. Come on. Just fire up your podcast player and get more tech know-how, whether you're walking or on your commute or whatever you might be doing.
Every minute your finance team spends wrestling with data is a minute lost. Insight Software's AI-powered insights instantly move you from complexity to clarity. Automated analysis, real-time reporting, strategic recommendations, all at your fingertips. Transform how your finance team works and watch your business grow. Stop wasting time. Start making smarter decisions. Learn more at insightsoftware.com/AI.